Doing good. Good. What about you, Lucas?
All right, we're gonna try this again. Thank you, Patrick, for mentioning that. Yes, this is a top 32 match between Nobility and Jim Gradwell. This is a pre-recording, so I can't control the camera on this instance. And yeah, joining me on commentary is Vodkablitz. I know they probably already heard you the first time, but how's it going?
This is going well.
Okay.
This is going to be an interesting game. Defenders versus Convocation. It's going to be good.
Yeah, we did see a Defenders versus Convocation in Week 6 between Schmidt and Shadow Marvel. And so we're seeing another one of these. Let's see how this one goes. Jim Gradwell is on the blue side. He is in fact Dr. Norbert's #1 fan. What's that meme where
His
it's like,
only fans.
yeah, that's right. He's repping, and Norbert apparently has an OnlyFans. I haven't checked it out yet, but it looks like he's plugging it right there. Very fun. I think like what's there's like a meme that it's like if Norbert only has one fan, I'm him, and if Norbert has no fans, Jim's dead, or something like that. Yeah, this will be an interesting match, and both Nobility is coming from the West bracket, or isn't he a second chancer? I think he's a second chancer from the West bracket, and Jim went 6-0, I believe, in the Europe bracket, if I can remember correctly.
He went undefeated in the Euro bracket, which is a pretty large bracket. So big props to him for doing that.
Yeah. And he was repping Convocation. Now Jim was previously the Convocation, um, like the leader on Longshanks, and he lost it temporarily. I believe he has it back, or he's just in the top of the mix. So he's been crushing it with the Convocation.
Yeah, I believe he stole it back from Schmid. Yep, he is currently leader of Convocation.
Joe Machi saying Jim ain't no second chance scrub. Yeah, that's right. We're seeing Jim make the cuts and just perform very well in these leagues overall, like very consistently. He made it to the semifinals in last season, and so he's just a very strong player. So Nobility is great too, and so I think this is gonna be a pretty cool match. Let's see what happens here. It looks like they did the priority roll, and Nobility won priority.
Like it. Yep. See tokens be deployed, so we see Mayor Fisk and Spider Infected.
What do you think of that mix there?
I think that combination of scenarios would probably favor defenders just because the secures are fairly close together, worth a lot of points, and stun characters, which, if you look at like Convocations, typical character like Doctor Strange, Ancient One, even Voodoo, like they all have extra power gain in the form of another. So the stun from the Fisk witnesses is very liable to hurt them.
Right. Yeah, that's it's really interesting. I think yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't play these affiliations very often, so these guys know way more about how to play these affiliations than I would. I don't know what to think here. I think that yeah, I think that this crisis favors both of them in certain ways. So I guess the question would be like, are we going to see? We didn't see. Did we see Hulk? Yeah, we saw Hulk on Nobility's side.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he'd bring a Hulk here, or do you think like just going against Wizards is probably? But then you've got Fisk, he's stun immune. There's like pros and cons. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not knowledgeable enough with defenders to know what nobility would choose to bring there. But the usual package of Wolverine and Hulk don't fare too well against the Wizards. So I could very well see him bring wider type of defenders for this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the same logic applies to the leader of the affiliation itself. Daredevil doesn't he doesn't count blanks on Mystic defenses, so he's a little susceptible to those attacks if Jim brings a few Mystic attackers here.
For sure, and especially with his 11th health pool, 5 on the front, 6 on the back, he's very liable to get taken out of the game early if Nobility is not careful there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see the squad. So Nobility, he is bringing Hulk. I can see him like in the little corner of the screen here. All right,
Both
so he's Hulk,
Wolverine,
Daredevil,
Daredevil,
Luke
and
Cage,
Luke
Wolverine.
Cage into Rhino, Voodoo, Strange Supreme, Toad, and Wong. Very interesting picks from both players. I think at character reveal, I really like Jim's squad more than Nobility here. We see 3 characters on his side being relatively weak to Mystic, which I think both Voodoo and Strange is uh, will make his characters a lot more fragile than they're used to be. I do like the Rhino pick just to get some displacement. But with Hulk on the opposing side, I try to be careful not to have him be thrown at your wizards too much, since they tend to have low physical defense and low health.
Yeah, I agree. Like if Rhino is going against Hulk, like just without robbery or anything, like Hulk can usually just like beat him up pretty good. Rhino doesn't attack very like Hulk is probably gonna throw that size 4 before Rhino, in most of the matches, and so we'll see if that's the case here. But yeah, I mean it's a good it's he's got Voodoo and Rhino to be able to take a spider off of Hulk if that's what if Hulk ends up grabbing one. But then, like the thing too is with Hulk doesn't like to grab one because it's like you're having to burn a leap to like self correct if you get hit by that spider. So yeah, there's a it's Hulk's got to do work here. I think he needs to definitely be worth his threat if Nobility's gonna take this one.
I agree, and I think it's the same with Luke Cage to an extent, where he really doesn't like grabbing extracts and being moved around just because it makes him a lot less relevant for his abilities like Too Dangerous to Ignore, or if he gets pushed out of heroes for a higher range. I think Nobility is liable to get punished on Spider Infected if the rolls aren't too kind to him.
That's right. It looks like Jim is setting up a grab with Toad, potentially. So the thinking here is that Nobility is probably going to grab the center or consider, or like that's like the typical opening you do on spiders with priority is grab the middle one with a tough character or a safe grab. And that's why Toad is on a flank here because he's thinking he'll just grab that far spider, maybe have protection from being attacked, but I mean, he's also having to deal with that size 4 truck potentially being thrown into him without power to brace. Um, so that's a consideration. The Wizards are probably going to be starting like they typically do on their side of the superpower. I think it's like circles of I don't remember the name, circles or something, but it every time they're going to take damage from an enemy effect, once per turn per character, they can place within one of their current position. So any sort of damage they take from throws or attacks, they'll be able to slightly reposition. It's really helpful to avoid taking a second attack in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. And with characters that have medium or larger base, as long as you're with a 65 millimeter base, if you're not base to base with your opponent, you can systematically get out of range 2 without range 1 place, uh, which is very notable. It's almost the same for 50 millimeter base, where if you take damage and get the bump, unless your opponent is directly base to base with you, you can usually get out um, of range 2 for attacks.
Looks like Nobility is starting here with he's grabbing the piece that Toad would have grabbed. This probably is leading to a Toad mid grab here, but yeah, he's basically conceding the extract advantage and is gonna probably just try to win the extracts over time through attrition. Yeah, so let's see what happens here. We do have Luke Cage and Wolverine and Daredevil with like their builder attacks, their top line attacks, range 2, and we've got two medium base three. I mean, we have two medium base characters in Voodoo and Strange. So just like you were saying, if these characters on Nobility side don't place, and Hulk I guess is range 2 attack, don't place base to base with these characters, um,
They're
or
liable to not
yeah,
be able to double tap.
exactly, yep.
And with Voodoo, Strange, and Rhino, I think those are probably Jim's key pieces there, with Wong and Toad being mostly support pieces. So I think it's going to be interesting. Ooh,
Okay.
Rhino diving for the central points.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's bold. It's a bold, interesting play here. I wonder how Nobility's going to respond. I mean, like I would have just maybe gone with Toad there, but I guess the thinking here is that Toad's just going to grab this one spider close to him and just basically hold it all game, um, and only coming onto the secures late game still healthy to maybe swing to a 2 point VP to do like a big VP swing is the long term plan it seems like is being lined up here.
that's what I would expect. I think we might even see down the line if Toad stays out of the action for long enough, uh, him just move in and do his spender to incinerate one of Nobility's character and make them squishier for the wizards. So Luke Cage grabbing up an extract.
All right. All right, so he's just repositioning for he looking. The range 3 is like a heroes for hire, but it's also like attacks against him. So there's lots of things that Luke Cage can do, with a range 3 placement here. It looks like he's going to avoid Rhino getting a free attack on him on round 2. It's good too because it also puts him probably within range 3 of both points. Like in terms of like his character standing on them, so it would let him like basically teleport onto the point with Heroes for Hire on round 2, without having to take like a move action. So I think that's what he's looking at right now. Actually, is what he's seeing if he
Yeah,
can put a character on a car or something, and have Luke Cage um, be able
be in
to
range of,
like heroes that.
yeah, be in range of protecting both points, which I think is a good positioning idea. Like, put your tool down, make sure uh, you're able
Ooh,
to.
okay. All right. So I don't like what happened here. A little bit of a rule breaking situation.
Uh,
He's basically proxied his Luke Cage model to get like very strong positioning. Um, where you basically like he just measured range 3 off of 2 points from a model that wasn't committed to a spot yet. So you want to um, want to avoid touching the range tools after you've picked up your character. Is like the
yeah,
simplest way to kind of avoid any sort of issues like that. But I mean, there's nothing to do here. I mean, this is a pre-record, so it's just something to learn and something to note in the future.
yeah, adjusting after like that's why you really have to uh, do your measuring first and just try to check and gauge your distances because here if you're fidgeting with your range tools and try to measure from different points and different things, that's not allowed by the rules of the game. But as you said, it's a pre-recorded. Nothing, nothing to do, nothing to see.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's like these are things that questions that come up a lot, like a lot of players. This and like the attack sequence timing with, especially like steps 12 through 14, which is like all of the during the applying damage after the attack is resolved, triggers and all that, are like I think the things that like come up the most in terms of like just questions about the game or like players maybe missing a step or two, but um, it's
There
yeah.
that are more liable to get wrong during a game just because they're pretty complex steps and you tend to do them a lot in a game. Like you put those measuring tools out super often. You get to resolve attacks very often. So
Yes, yes, very fair. Yeah. Okay, Toad's doing the thing we thought he would do. It looks like he is putting himself in a medium range of the secure, so he's able to jump in if needed. Pass from Nobility. Love to see the chat keeping us informed. Oh, I don't have the clocks up. That's a bummer. So we're not going to know how intense this game was from a time perspective, but um, yeah. So oh well.
from Nobility, I also really like Toad's placement here, just because with Hulk being in front of Rhino, he's hidden behind a little
Mm.
lamppost, which means it's going to be a lot harder for Nobility to throw Rhino at Toad if he ever gets there.
Yeah, I like it too, and I like how it's not like he's not with like right beside the light post. Because if he was, you would probably pretty easily be able to smack him. But because he's
Yeah,
that extra inch back, it just makes that angle even tighter to have that as an option.
yep.
Very cool. Ooh,
So
Gray Jack is in the chat. Welcome.
moving and giving power to Doctor Strange, let him scalpel himself if need be.
I mean, we could even see like a double walk displace, right?
That's what I would expect, just since he has last activation to try and leverage it to deny Hulk's momentum, because we know just how strong Hulk is on these types of scenarios. Um, so here being able to teleport Wong range 3 is huge. Oh, that makes sense.
What's that?
In the chat, but yeah, I really like having Doctor Strange for displacement last activation if possible.
Yeah. The only thing is that like Doctor Strange like will absolutely hates these the secure. So it's like if you like put him on there around one, just like it could long term not be a fun experience for him.
For sure, which I think is the reason why you want to deny points but not necessarily score them,
Hmm.
which is a tough balance to thread.
Yeah, and Wolverine is immune to stun. I think that's why Nobility chose him, right? The original Wolverine and is Logan also immune to stun?
They're
I
both.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. So this I can understand the logic behind putting. He's probably like forced both of them, and then Luke Cage fits nicely as that extra 3 points.
Double moving, and I think I'd expect throw him to throw Rhino into probably either Strange or Wong.
Yeah, if you throw into Wong here, it might force the brace out, preventing Strange from getting that displacement superpower from his crap. What's the name of it again?
Scalpel of
Scalpel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but then Wong can't brace, so there's that. There's both. Hmm. I like throwing in a Strange here to just get rid of brace. That means you've got like every throw you have from then on is awesome.
that's only through though if he braces.
Yeah,
Which
that yes, yeah.
I think there's a world where there's an argument for you not to brace here, just take the damage, scalpel yourself, then scalpel Hulk. But that's definitely a gutsy move.
Oh, they're having a little bit of issues with the tool, but looks like it's getting fixed. I mean, Wong's getting hit here based on the trajectory of the tool. So let's see. Wong needs to block 2 here to live. He doesn't get the extra dice, I don't think, from Doctor Strange.
Not on Dutch, he does just 3.
Did he roll? There it is. Okay, so he goes down.
Yep, rolled only 1, dazed 1.
I will be back in 1 minute.
Power up Rhino with the bump. This is going to be interesting to see where Rhino bumps, trying to be out of range of hopefully Hulk to get thrown again, to not get thrown again.
All right, so we have the bounce back from Rhino here.
Yep. I think he's moving forward, hopefully not within range 2 to get thrown back uh, at the top of next round.
All right. Yeah, I think man, I keep forgetting who says this, but I've said it again. It's like there's two types of Wizards players. There's either ones that bump away or bump towards. Crap, who said that? I forget, but it's very funny. And there we go. We see Rhino bumping towards the action here.
Yeah, it's one of the things that makes Convo a little hard to get into. It's just because having access to both leaderships simultaneously and being able to flip between both, like rerolls are easier to use, but still not super simple just because of the nature of the rerolls leadership and the bump, like free movement, conditional free movement still leaves a lot of a lot of openings for mistakes.
Curtis in the chat says that he said it and then Schmidt stole it from him. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty funny. Wolverine looking to jump into the action here. He's got to deal with. Hold on. No. Sorry, so Jim's going before Wolverine. He wants to see what Wolverine's threat range is. Wolverine has no matter the cost available to him, which he could take 3 damage to do his range 3 spender, and that's what Jim was measuring to see if he could get hit by that. But it looks like he can position on the Fisk point and be out of range of that if he's maximum distance away from Wolverine. If you're a small base character and you have a medium movement, you've got a very tight window across from the midline where you could move and hit a range 3 attack onto someone who is contesting a midline objective. So it looks like Wolverine is basically just out of that band, and he's and as a result, Voodoo is likely to not take the an attack on round 1. Let's see if that's accurate. Oh, it's very close.
It's gonna be tight, but it looks like he makes it.
I don't know. Looks out. We'll see. We'll see.
It's a very, like you said, very tight window.
Look at Luke Cage. If you look at Luke Cage, it's probably in, but he's also closer to the screen. Oh yeah, he's in. Oh, yeah, there it is. And now he doesn't have to do it. Let's see if he does it. Basically,
Yeah,
he's gonna do it. So I think. So I don't remember. Is it auto place no matter what? You automatically get the range 1 place.
you get to place no matter what, and the size 3 throw is conditional on damage.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see if he gets it. No cover for Voodoo, and he's got 4 to 2. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do the damage and get the place and the throw.
2 damage.
So he's gonna position within range 3 of Luke Cage, or that's the idea, to allow him to get Heroes for Hire on a future defensive role. So one thing about playing no matter the cost on a healing factor character is that they basically get to avoid a lot of the repercussions of paying for the card, because Wolverine at the end of his activation is going to just heal 2 power if he remembers, because it is optional to heal your characters with healing factor.
Sure, I like the throw towards Hulk here just because after the attack is resolved, Jim will get the trigger the bump from the leadership. And if he throws him that way, he'll probably be able to move back on the list. Yep, I think I'd rather see throw really away towards the building, forcibly denying piece, or at least parity.
Yeah, looks like Nobility is a throw. The throw function on his tools isn't working as intended. But I don't know. We'll see if that continues. Yes, I think Nobility, because he conceded the middle objective, the middle extract, he's really hoping that he can at least get parity on these, and it looks like that's what he's or win them. If you win them, he's up on points because he would go to 6 to 3, which would be a pretty significant scoring advantage for Nobility. So I think that that's why Jim is looking to displace Wolverine, because if he does that, it's only a 4 to 3 lead for Nobility instead.
I think I like what he's looking at. Possibly moving Strange with the scalpel within range 2 of Wolverine. Be able to double tap him, then scalpel him away, which is not a line of play I dislike. Yep. Looks
Yeah,
like
if
he's
you
covered.
but if you double tap him, or hold on, so um you're saying teleport range 4 on Strange, like scalpel Strange, and then attack him
Yeah,
twice.
attack Wolverine twice, then teleport Wolverine. If you build up 4 power again, which I don't think is super unlikely there.
Schmidt is seeing the ceiling of Strange right here. He's saying there's a world where you could teleport to characters onto both of the Secures with Strange, and ultimately tie both of the Secures, which
He's really correct. But yeah,
maybe too far. Yeah, maybe I think yeah. I mean, you
that's
could be in a spot where you could teleport Toto to the point and then teleport Rhino to the other point. If you push through 8 damage on Hulk or something. I mean, Schmidt is definitely not. Didn't Schmidt, or who was it that did like 10 damage to Hulk in 2 attacks with Strange? Was that someone did it with Convocation recently? I thought.
I think that was good.
Yeah. Okay. Just walk.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, just
I like
walk Strange to 1. Okay, yeah, that's fair. If you walked Strange to 1, you would. Duh. Okay, of course. Now I'm seeing it. See, this is how. This is this is why I don't play Convocation. Ay ay ay. Yeah, that's right. Shadow Marvel was regretting the Hulk choice, because his Hulk got dismantled. All right. So he um wait, so was that wait, what just happened? How did Voodoo get over there? He
uh,
bumped back onto the building?
bump from
Okay.
Wolverine's attack.
All right. So he's looking. All right, so he's probably going to do that thing um that Schmidt has suggested here. The line is probably consider
Moving
using the all 4 power to move Rhino onto Wolverine's point. And then you tie the extracts, or you tie the secures, and you win. There it goes. Oh nope, he is
to one.
opting to win the secure with Strange.
I'm not sure I like that play just because it would let Nobility stun Doctor Strange, which shuts down his power generation from 3 to 1, which really devalues his kit.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, you're also hitting Rhino with a stun too, which I don't know, he doesn't really care too much, but like if he does take a big hit, he'll start to care. Maybe I don't know. It's maybe not, because he
Still
only needs
offensive
6 power to
damage,
do his whole kit, right? Like basically. So, um, yeah.
like going up 3 to 5 in Jim's favor here.
Yeah, looks like
Oh, 5 to 4, sorry.
because we're gonna see. Yeah, Nobility's gonna score 2 extracts and 1 secure, and Jim's gonna score 3 and 1 secure. Oh, don't miss Strange! Don't miss Strange! All right, all right. That's pretty tight, man. I would have been a little more.
I would have been worried with that.
Yeah, well, he got it. He got it. So that's good. Yeah, I guess this is better in that Jim needs the game to end. The game to end quicker. You think Schmidt thinks that defenders will win out over time if Jim doesn't keep a decent score each round. So let's see if that's the case. We're moving the no sense in giving Wolverine damage that he's going to heal off anyway, and he's immune to stun, so it makes sense to just constantly move it away from Wolverine. He will have his charge online, which will count double wild. So let's see if that comes into effect this round.
For sure. And I think I agree with Schmidt here. I think with how the crisis is set up, Jim really wants to score fast, and that displacing Hulk here really limits his activation. So here we're seeing the Ironbound books being played. So physical attack. Jim has the ability to make physical attacks turn into mystic attack into his characters for the whole round.
Yeah. The yeah. Let's see if this is.
And since it's a May ability, he will probably choose not to do it against Rhino.
Okay, all right. This is ridiculous. I can't. Curtis told me to put a meme on screen. All right, I can't. I don't know if I can do that. All right.
I don't disagree. But no, I know Mariah. She's another big Convocation player from the UK. Usually tends to play a lot of the reroll side of Convocation, which just shows like how many ways there are of playing this faction, which basically has just 8 characters. Um, it's like surprisingly complex and has a very good depth for how long it hasn't gotten a new release.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been a little while.
A little over 2 years now. I think their latest release was Magic, if you can believe it.
Yeah, that is quite a while. Here we go. No, I can't. I can't. Man, I don't. I need to. I can't. I don't know how to technically put the meme on screen here, so I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. Where did you put my art? Okay.
You've
Ah,
got your
jeez.
thumbnail for the YouTube or the next Convocation game now.
I'm gonna. I don't want to. I don't want to. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh no, I'm gonna. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. This one exception. We're gonna pause the stream temporarily here while I workshop this. Um. Let's see. All right. So hold on. I can do this, but you're gonna see. It's gonna be messy. All right. I should have just let the game play, but here we go. Curtis asked for this. All right. All right. I think people can see this. Can
Yes,
you
they.
guys see this? Peer pressure.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. All right. There you go. There you go. I need to rename this scene to meme so I can. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Back to the game. Back to the game. All right.
I think here we saw Rhino get displaced by his spider infected token.
Okay.
It's what I presume.
Yeah. It's an advance, so you can move them anywhere. Anywhere you want. And yeah. So let's see how this is gonna mess things up.
It looks
For these players. So let's see how
like,
badly it messes it up.
yeah, I think it looks like Nobility didn't get displaced on either his Daredevil or Luke Cage, so
Oh, look at that. So it's it's, um, what would you do here? Would you put him right here? You do have priority as nobility. I mean, it makes sense that it'll give you a great Hulk activation. It'll make you make him play brace on Strange in all likelihood. Um, Or maybe you throw the truck into him. Do we see an early Hulk activation here? We probably do, right? Because we don't want that size 4 coming into my team or coming into like I'm saying that from Nobility's perspective.
yeah, that's what I would expect. On are they rolling? Was that the last spider or the only spider? Um,
It looks like they must have finished spiders.
uh, yeah, they finished spider, so only Rhino got displaced and the whole thing, and I think we see rightfully Hulk going into Rhino here.
Okay. So that was a leap. So he still has 2 actions here. He's spending 3 power. Oh, that was for the leap. Okay, so we got the dice being rolled.
Yep. Will we see a sad or strong Hulk
Oh,
today?
it's a decent, about average. We'll see if the crit. There we go, slightly above average, but good defense blocks. So
Yep.
only 2 damage.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if he chooses to reroll one of these. With the leadership.
The thing is, with Rhino's large
Yeah.
base, you can bump out of range for getting hit twice. Oh yeah, right. He has Defender's Leadership, which lets you reroll 1 die per enemy character within 2, and you can do that once per turn.
So here we see Hulk dealing 3 to Rhino. Rhino being able to both aggressive then bump in the order of his choosing. So here there's a spicy line of play where you could advance Rhino towards Hulk, then bump him behind Daredevil.
Right.
That would
That is pretty cool. We're probably gonna see this truck go. Like, now that Rhino has enough power to throw the truck, I think you have to throw the truck before he does. Or I mean, you don't have to, but it seems very reasonable. Rhino is stunned. Okay. Well, guess what? It's a pre-record, so we can't travel back
Rhino
in
only
time, unfortunately.
Rhino only took 2 power, one from the damage and one from Orange.
Okay, perfect. There we go. So, yeah, he got 2 power, but both from separate instances, and therefore it looks like we're not in a game-breaking territory here or whatever. All right, so he's doing the bump on Rhino. Let's see if he ends up doing any sort of aggressive.
I think when you bump out backward, not
Yeah,
really.
probably.
Having those options is definitely interesting and nice tools to have in your arsenal.
Yeah.
So here we're probably going to see Hulk move and throw something or someone, which is not a great Hulk activation. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not as good as you need it to be to put that level of offensive pressure into the Convocation.
Yeah, and if Strange is able to get back up to 4 power again, guess where Hulk's going? Hulk's going back to where he was, right? And it's just going to be a 1 attack Hulk every round. Is that's all he's going to get? He's going to be half as effective as you'd expect him to be. Jim ain't no scrub. Yeah, no scrubs. Scrub. What is a scrub? Anyone know in the chat what a scrub is?
Have you watched the show Scrubs?
No, I'm referring to that TLC song.
My God.
Ah, man, I ain't no I'm not chasing no waterfalls. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Joe. Yeah. Okay. So
What a
he's still
thing.
considering. Yeah. Gavel. That's right. Also known as a buster. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Okay. He's debating the move action here. It's tough. It's tough. I think we're in a situation where it's like you he knows what he has to do, but it doesn't know if he has the will to do it. And that's like have a crappy Hulk activation. But you're in the spot where you just have to. Yeah, I would love to see the clocks now. Yeah, I mean,
We see
I'm pretty sure the game didn't go to time, but I don't know for certain.
throw going into Strange,
Does he
which will
play it? He
break.
does play it.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Just because I don't really think you don't want to risk losing your Strange activation here.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Especially when he's your leader with a Hulk nearby the round after.
Yeah, I think that Do you think we're gonna see Wong like get that stun off of Strange, or do you think like I think we're gonna see Strange hold his activation because the threats? Oh, I don't know. I say that, but like Wolverine is like a charge, maybe a charge away from attacking Strange. It's close on range. So like, is Strange vulnerable? Rhino's more vulnerable. You think we're gonna see Rhino go right now because he's low on health?
Yeah, I would expect probably Rhino to go just because it's the Ironbound book's turn. I don't dislike Wong double healing here, both you and Rhino. Uh, I think it gives Jim a lot more options going forward. And since the Ironbound books is up, Doctor Strange really fears nothing from Nobility's side since they're all physical attacker because 5 die uh, with reverse pierce and all reroll is usually really good defensive tech.
Yeah. So if you're attacking, the one thing that like is a bummer to have to roll defense dice against when you've got the defense like Strange with that reverse pierce is like if the attacker also has pierce,
Yeah,
because they will get to use their pierce to take away your reverse pierce before you get to actually use it. Um, so the counter to that is just roll multiple wilds or roll like a bunch of them. And then they can only take away one. Whereas reverse pierce typically is like unlimited, right? Every wild you get to do that with.
and good call from Joe there. I think going with Wong also means he's probably safe from Wolverine, just because I don't expect Nobility wanting to give the Ironbound books back next round to keep Convocation on their tankier side.
Yeah. Wong's it's an interesting thing because it's like I don't want to say all that energy, but you put some resources into flipping him, and you did, and he might just sit the whole game. He might just be sitting injured, healing, and taking conditions off of other characters, and not being targeted at all because he's not scoring points, but he's just supporting the rest of his team and giving Jim last activation every round basically. So let's see. Wolverine is charging in. He looks like a measured on range 2, right? Or range 2 on Strange is what I think I saw.
Yep. Charge going into Doctor
Let's see
Strange.
if he rolls 5 dice. Then we know it's Strange.
Oh,
Only 3, so Rhino is getting the hit here.
so 3, 4 because of the charge bonus with Pierce. So 3 damage would be going into Rhino with, as we said, if he's not really base to base, here Rhino can just actually bump out of the full range
Yeah,
of being attacked by Wolverine. Oh no, not because of the spender. So
oh, okay. Yeah, so he's got enough power to do a spender now, is what you're saying. He's setting up. He also has sacrifice available, is what I think he's also trying to see.
thing which I really like having set up there, just because if he gets Wong, he can force Jim to give him back his books and preserve Rhino's activation.
Right. Oh, but he's still in range 2 here. So I guess like the sacrifice is online is the main thing that Jim seems like he was concerned about. Yeah, let's see if who Nobility targets this time.
It's a tough place to be. Not sure who do you want to hit. I think he's looking at doing a spender into Strange, try to throw him off the points, and maybe generate more and without letting Strange gain too much power.
Hmm. This is yeah, this is
Yep,
interesting.
very very tough positions for both players here so far. It's a very interesting game. Yep, so we see the spender going into Strange here,
Okay.
who has his 5 dice with reverse Pierce.
Yeah, so we'll see if Wolverine gets to throw him at all. He'll need to punch him pretty hard here with these dice. He does have 2 rerolls from the spender though. If he didn't, because I don't know if did he use them on the attack. Oh,
Don't think so. Oof, that's a pretty hard whiff and a very solid initial roll from Chubb. Uh, even if his dice didn't convert, he can wait for Nobility to do his rerolls, which he did. Ooh, and both convert. I
Wow.
think.
Okay, so he's re-rolling all here.
Yep.
He's got 7 dice on defense. That's pretty cool. And if he gets any wilds, oh, he didn't get any wilds, so he still ends up with only 2 blocks, which is wow, interesting. You'd think you'd get a wild in there, for God's sakes. Jim's probably thinking like, "Come on, I just rolled freaking 14 dice and I didn't get a single wild." All right, so that's it's also good. Like rolling the wilds on defense is also good if you're stunned, right? Because you're gonna convert hits into blanks, but you're also
Yep.
getting a power for each one you do that with, which means you can help negate the fact that you're stunned to some degree.
Yep. Here he
Thrown.
gets to go.
Oh, look at that. Rhino
Jim.
has to block all 3 here. So very strong. Yeah, look at that. Schmid complimenting Nobility's play here with that combo.
See if Rhino survives the hit.
Nope.
Nope, he doesn't.
That's pretty good.
Dropping
That's
his
pretty
spider
good
back.
activation out of Wolverine here. You put Strange on a 1 tap from being dazed, and he doesn't have power, and Rhino goes down, and because you are narrower than him and haven't passed this round, it means that hold on, it means that you're gonna maintain priority. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but that's just that's where we're at right now.
I think with the throw here, he's giving the opportunity to Strange to generate enough power to scalpel Hulk again, which is potentially very rough for Nobility, but we'll see how it ends up.
Yeah. Oh, well, he'll be at 2, or like, isn't he already?
Back and one from the throw. So if he builders twice, that puts
Right.
four and lets him teleport Hulk away.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So he doesn't. As long as he pushes damage through twice, he might even just go with one. Oh no, he's too low. So he's going to. Oh, he's going with Strange right now. He's going to pick up the spider, or he's looking to pick up the spider. Okay. Uh,
I don't dislike picking up the spider and moving back here, trying to uh, go and get more VPs. Yep, I like the measurement here just to check if Toad can get to the other point and Jim can bring Voodoo back into the action.
yeah. Straker. I think is that how you say it? But he's asking if he had Poldock or Bane of Nimbala in his roster. I would imagine he probably did. I think he was running solo Convocation, but you'll be able to watch this stream back up on YouTube. And on the you'll be able to see it. There was a quick snapshot of both rosters plus the game chat when they load their rosters in. Will quickly list what they brought, so you'll be able to catch it on the replay.
Big fan of Bane of Damballa, usual in Convocation. I think it's sneakily one of their best cards. Personally, when I play them, I value it pretty much as strongly as Ironbound Books, just because being able to root in an area for 1 power is a very, very strong effect. And
Yeah, didn't you
it's
you used Strange as range 5 daggers?
yeah,
And what did you call that? You had a name for that. Uh,
uh, the daggers of Davaroth, and
into the Bane of Damballa as like an opening play. I thought you called it something. Maybe you called it like the Montreal Special or something. You said something along those lines.
definitely up there amongst things we tend to do a lot locally when we're playing Convocation. The first time I've had it done to me, I was really surprised by just how strong that was. Like range 5 attack that poisons you, then roots you and all your friends, especially near deployment, is really, really gross.
Yeah, I can see that being a huge, a huge problem. Okay,
Like rooting
Strange.
at Thanos in your opponent's deployment zone is particularly satisfying.
Yeah, I can see that the compile before. Yeah, I can just see the problem. He doesn't have Thanos doesn't have a way to get rid of any conditions on like with cards or anything like that. So it's just like, and you don't want to shake on a threat character typically. All right, so Strange is looking to double move. I think that was that his first move?
Spider
Yeah.
and move again. I think I really like this play just because it preserves Strange activation for next round, and puts a bigger clock on Nobility. Like trying to preserve all the VPs is a good call.
Yeah. So was that 2 move actions to get there?
No, it was just one. I think he's measuring ranges. Yeah, he doesn't want to get tapped by Luke Cage or Daredevil, so he's looking to see just how far he needs to go if he can still contest the Fisk token without being attacked by
Yeah.
either Daredevil or Luke Cage. Which, if he can, puts him in a very very good position.
Yeah. He'll have last activation, so he'll be able to save that for Voodoo to be able to hit one of the characters if they're looking to try to contest that point with Strange. So it looks like Strange is taking a second action here.
Yep,
Yeah, he's going to take a second action to probably place further away on the Fisk point, I would imagine.
that's what I would expect.
All right. I mean, we're probably going to see a double move from either Luke Cage or Daredevil to try to chase Strange down
Yeah,
and contest that point.
but by doing that, they're exposing themselves to be attacked by Voodoo, which
Yeah.
with a throw on his builder gives Jim really nice options here.
Yeah, I see that looks like Daredevil is eyeing that up. I mean, I think that that makes sense because to some degree because um you can, if you do get displaced from the throw, you can pay 2 power
Yeah,
to advance back onto the point with your that reactive ability he has on his healthy side. So if either of the two of them are going to do that, it seems reasonable that it's Daredevil. I don't think Voodoo has a range 3 over the full Fisk point, which means that Daredevil would only probably take 1 hit. The only issue, I mean, the issue is that like you could be Brother Daniel, but both the Luke Cage and Daredevil have the extracts. That's like no matter who you send over there to stop those 2 VPs on the secure, like it's
they're
up for
gonna let
grabs.
Voodoo.
Yeah, looks like Toad isn't going to be able to excuse me, be able to like win this point down here. So Nobility's looking, he's already got probably 3 points locked in for sure. Unless, I mean, like, I don't know, would we see Toad and Voodoo double up on that bottom point? I don't think so. I think Jim's probably going to focus on just trying to win the top Fisk, and do what he did last round, which is like another 5-4.
Which I think puts a pretty big clock on Nobility, just because if Jim breaks parity with either Rhino or Voodoo, he could threaten just to win straight out next round.
Yeah.
This round goes 5-4 again.
Yeah, it's gonna be the round 3 is gonna be pretty precarious because there's 4 points on the secures and 5 points on extracts, and Nobility can only cap out on 8 points because he has 4 models, but he's looking at potentially being at 8 points after round 2 if he doesn't lose either of these extracts, and if that's the case, then both players are are in a spot where they could theoretically win the game with maximizing the score. So there's yeah, I think that's probably what the both players are like starting to. I mean, when I'm in this position, this is when I start to think about like the end game. But it's I mean, it's still we still have a lot of actions to go to get to a spot where someone's winning out. So we'll see how it goes.
I think both Luke Cage and Daredevil being in like both so far from the action and not wanting to be too close to Voodoo, have the score gap be accentuated, puts Nobility in a very tough position.
Yeah. Nobility, he knows what he has to do, but I don't know if he has the willpower to do it.
And
So,
credit the gym, like his character positioning with Voodoo, Wong, and everything has been really, really good so far, and it's been paying off. Uh, it's been paying off a lot.
yeah. All right, this seems pretty. This seems reasonable. I think what he's doing is he's setting up a Heroes for Hire next round on Daredevil if he gets attacked. That by putting Luke Cage, Luke Cage does have cover, so he's not going to be taking too much damage from Voodoo this round, if any. And yeah, and so next round Daredevil will have 2 power to be able to use Heroes for Hire. Let's see if what Jim does. He's probably going to activate Toad here because he wants to save Voodoo last to protect that Fisk point.
Um, and I think Jim is measuring now that Luke Cage's out of the way if Daredevil can actually get to Doctor Strange.
It looks like he can double walk onto that point. So
We see Toad run away and try to score VPs, which I think is the right call. You want to protect your VPs as much as you can here to threaten the win next round.
yeah, it'll be important. It's important to note too that Wolverine's only on has 0 power right now. He had to spend it all for that to get the spender off. And
Yep.
so as a result, it means that he's not going to be able to charge next round unless he's attacked. So I think that Jim will basically avoid attacking him unless he absolutely has to. And so Nobility might have to activate him early. But the problem is, like, if Daredevil does go to where Strange is, like, you're in a situation where you either have you just are in a tough spot. Um, because either have a really pretty probably a crappy Wolverine activation, or you Daredevil goes down. So I mean, there's lots of setup that's happening this round is what we're seeing with now that the strong activations have already gone or were shut down, and Rhino and Strange kind of basically being put in a spot where they basically had a very narrow pathway to continue the game, where they basically had to do those things. Once that kind of everything fell into place there, all these support characters are just kind of shuffling around for next round.
Yep. And I think we see both players here um, very intentionally setting up next round, identifying that it's going to be the if one of, if not the crucial round of the game.
All right, we're having Daredevil also not being on the point, so he's conceded that point. So it seems I like that. It seems reasonable, knowing that you've basically guaranteed you're going to win that bottom secure with Toad moving away from it, which was probably the right call. And so your Nobility, you're basically accepting you're going to go down by 2 points here, maybe even a third point if Voodoo gets too close to or gets close enough to Luke Cage and uses all his power to take Luke Cage's extract off of him or make him drop it.
Yeah, I don't think that's what you want to do with your gym. I think you want to consolidate and just threaten steals as much as you can without forcing them now.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get your Voodoo token back. You don't just get it back for free in the power phase. But yes, like old Voodoo would have definitely double walked and made Luke Cage drop that piece, and then in the power phase of next round would just be like, all right, I get my token back, and all my defenses
Yep,
are back to full
I
again.
back up.
Yeah, yeah. But if he spends it now, he's just going to be a 2-2. Like, he's gonna have only 2 dice to roll, is which does make him susceptible to being double attacked and going down pretty quickly. So yeah, there's
And I
lots of different considerations.
Oh, for sure. And I think one of the interesting choices Nobility will have here is if he chooses to daze Doctor Strange with the Fisk token, just because not dazing him with the token means he can steal Strange activations next round by dazing him with Daredevil. But that also means that Rhino is probably going to be able to steal either either Daredevil's or Cage's token pretty effectively.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I like this is if I when I plan Fisk, it's like I always make that mistake of dazing a character when I shouldn't have, because it's like I've done that in a game that I can remember where I dazed an ASM and he lived the rest of the game injured. And it was like, oh man, if only I had him on one, I probably could have won that game if he didn't get to activate that round. So it's yeah, it's a tough characters. Putting him on one, it does makes it puts your opponent in a tough spot if you got one of their key pieces one health away from dazing, or or being KO'd, I guess too.
For sure. And I think that's what makes Fisk, at least in my book, one of the more interesting crises in MCP. Just because its pacing is really, really different from a lot of other secures. And I think it's somewhat similar to Paranoia for extracts, where it's, even if you consider the shape and how many VPs it puts on the board, it just has a very different tempo when you play it than when you read it, which gives it, like in my book, an interesting design space and makes them trickier to learn to play around.
Okay,
Yeah, I
looks
really like here the VP bubble um, Jim is building here, just putting his characters holding VPs as far away from the action as they can. And here we see him not wanting Voodoo to be struck by the Fisk and be far away from everyone so that he can just threaten double walk and possess later next round.
yeah. Wong is he's setting up a sacrifice bubble on Wong here. He's like he's the sorcerer supreme holding it all together right now is what's happening. Okay, we're looking like okay, so he's taking a second move action just to readjust slightly. That range 2 tool, I believe what he's measuring there is making sure that it's impossible to hit the stun on both characters, because the range 2 tool measures 3 inches, and objective tokens are 1 inch wide. And so 3 inches is 1 inch interaction on both Voodoo and Strange, that's 2 inches, and then 1 inch for the token means that it's exactly range 2 between if you wanted two characters opposite of an objective. Therefore, by being outside of two of each other, Nobility wouldn't be able to stun both of them or
Yeah.
do damage to both of them. Okay. We're seeing him bringing it closer to his team now. Seems reasonable. This is going to force like move actions out of Voodoo, and Strange is stunned, so it's also, unless he can get some damage before he moves or scalpels, he's going to be forced to move. Like, it just puts off um it's I like the decision to bring that closer. Let's see what Jim does here to bring with the Fisk token.
I like pulling it further apart than the other one, just because it forces Nobility to keep models there if he wants to deny Jim the opportunity to win it and score out.
So I just noticed that Nobility's team has full health right now. He hasn't.
No, Jim has made no attacks thus far, right?
Has is that accurate to say? The yeah, actually it is, and the so Wolverine has taken damage though, right? He's taken 3 damage this game, but it was all from one. It was all from no matter the cost.
Oh, that is pretty funny.
But let's see if that trend continues. I would imagine that that Jim's gonna start trying to flip one or stop the activations of one or two of these characters. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Patrick's mentioning that that's by choice. Jim has not attacked any other character on any of the characters.
Let's Nobility chooses to start his round with. I'd expect someone that's able to go into Strange, uh, just because denying that 5 threat worth of activation is.
Yeah, I agree. So books are not available this round. So Strange is, if he gets attacked with a physical attack, which is any of these characters, he is going to be rolling 3 dice with a full re-roll all. Jim's AFK for a minute. All right. Look at that. He's like, Nobility has future sight here. He knows that we're going to be
Very nice of them to tell us.
To let
I
us
think
know.
they
Yeah.
also need to roll for Spider Infected first,
Oh yeah, that's
which
right.
might screw Jim's Wong sacrifice bubble.
Hey, Obiscus, I think is how you say it. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But yeah, he's in range to sacrifice onto Wong, and um, but not onto Strange. All right, so we're rolling on the Daredevil points.
Yeah, pushing Daredevil away here means he's going to be outside of range to attack Strange Supreme, which is really big, and we see Strange going away.
Oh, that was sorry.
That
That was Luke Cage. It looks like it was Luke Cage rolling. Yeah. Looks like Norbert is trying to find out if Luke Cage would have to like single walk back onto the point or double walk or lots of things to consider. Voodoo can just like double walk and rip that piece out of Luke Cage's hands if he wants to.
now, Daredevil. Uh, looks like the first one was a blank, so Daredevil is not moving. Now Toad is moving. Who's next? Whoever was next is cleared. And third roll was also cleared. So only Toad and Luke Cage.
All right, so let's see. What do you think? What do we think Nobility's gonna do here with his characters? Um,
I think
yeah,
going into Doctor Strange is the play here. Just put
yeah.
Daredevil on the points and slap Doctor Strange if you can.
Daredevil's got one shot at this with taking that move action, so he's trying to get in range 2 so he can get that 5 dice attack with a reroll.
Yep. Which is pretty likely to get Doctor Strange, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah. Not like, of course, now that I think about it, it's like maybe you just do put Voodoo within range 2 of Strange to get them both stunned. Like Voodoo already had the power, like he'll already have 4 power. I don't know what more you need out of him. Like and he has different ways to gain power, right? With the skull, with the sap, with the damage is like 3. He could theoretically gain 3 power even when you're stunned on an attack. And then if you do get Strange here, he's no longer stunned, so he's gonna be like at a good, like he'll be at a decent power level. But I guess hmm. And then you set up a sack. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because maybe you do just ping. It's I don't know. My small brain isn't understanding if it would have been a good move to basically bait the token to be closer to your team or not.
I don't think so, just because you want to be as far away from being attacked as possible. I like the call from Diggleberry in chat just to have Luke Cage double move and throw the size 2 card into Strange. Um, and I think that's pretty likely to get him. That's a good option, but it puts Luke Cage very much at risk of getting eaten by Voodoo.
Yeah, that is true. I mean the yeah. I wonder what Nobility is considering instead here.
I think he's looking at going into Rhino instead, just because if he dazes Strange, Rhino's likely to just like move, slide, steal an objective from whoever dazes Strange, then be able to move away uh, far enough so that Hulk can't throw Rhino into his friends.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's pretty big. Because here, if you're Hulk, you can look at trying to KO either Wong or Rhino with Hulk and your rerolls.
All right, here we go.
Yep. Daredevil going into Doctor Strange. Yep. And 2 and on the points. So 5 dice against 3 with a reroll versus reroll all.
Okay. Only 2 though. Let's see if Strange gets it. Oh, look at that. He's got enough. He's going
Will
to use his reroll on Daredevil. There's 3. That's okay, so he has to reroll all and get triple block. And no.
he fell back there.
He
That's
could, but I mean, like, I guess, like, why would you is my thought, because Daredevil's already holding a piece, so it's like
yeah,
he can.
I agree there.
Nobility looking to put the piece, the extract, in basically out of range of Wong if possible, so that Wong couldn't double walk and pick it up, because he's probably the only character that would be willing to expend actions to grab it. So I think that's the logic that Nobility is taking here to do that.
I think here we're gonna see Rhino go, just so that he doesn't get thrown on his friends. Ooh, I don't dislike forcing Luke Cage away from all this, uh, and Voodoo being able to possess and potentially just Daredevil.
Yeah. He's looking to break the car so that it can't get thrown into him. And then attack Luke Cage and throw the building at him, probably, is like the line that I'm seeing. Or maybe you don't. You've got so much power. You can only spend 8 power with on Rhino's activation with the card included. Normally he can only spend 6, 3 for a stampede and 3 for a terrain throw. So it's like Rhino can do everything he can do his whole kit.
If Wolverine can get to
It
Voodoo with
looks like it's 2. The terrain is a problem. I wonder what the thinking is on destroying the car. I guess like it must be Luke Cage
throwing it.
just throwing it.
That's what
Yeah.
Also potentially just denying cover for Voodoo's attacks if Luke Cage ever gets there.
What is the 2 he keeps measuring off of Rhino?
Roughly a short move, just because since you can't have 2 of the same movement tools out at the same time, range 2 is roughly like it's a little different than a short move, but it allows you to approximate your ranges.
He's measuring vibes. Yeah, that's right. He's vibing on Rhino right now. Rhino is just straight vibe. And all right, here we go. Let's see. We're gonna get a stampede into Luke Cage. 7 dice. Let's see if how much Luke Cage can deflect off of this.
Then 1.
Yeah, he might not have even attacked Luke Cage if he had the range 1 on him, but he needs to play. He needs to be able to play robbery, so he needs to do the attack. 4 into 1, so takes 2.
then gets the place, which is pretty good for Rhino because it allows him to take the extract and potentially throw the size 3 into Luke Cage. So here you get the place. Then pay 3 to throw the size 3, or just straight up rob. Yep, we see the robbery.
Oh, he's going to not throw the terrain. Interesting. I mean, I guess
I don't
he's gonna
dislike it
throw him into.
because it keeps fallback open if ever you need it.
Okay.
But it seems to eventually
Is he not paid
fall
for the
back.
throw? Like, I guess, like, am I missing the? He started at 9, and he spent 4 power.
He spent 3 for
Oh, he did the
Stampede.
attack. The attack got him 2
Yeah.
power.
The attack got 2 power, then he
Right.
spent 2
So
for
he has but so you could
keeping
still
it up.
spend 3 power and throw the building and still have 2 for fallback.
Oh, yours.
Okay, but I guess he's just he's not worried about it. I guess maybe getting more power on Luke Cage is maybe the thought. I mean, but I'm sure Jim has his reasons, and I wish I could hear what he was thinking or hear what he's saying on the. But so I'm going to assume it's beyond my skill level. I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think the Hulk activation here, trying to steal activations and VPs away from Jim, is probably the right call. If he can Gamma Leap and punch Toad, just try and steal VPs, but with access to sacrifice, I really don't see Toad going down at the moment.
Yeah. In the chat mentioning that keep the power down. Yeah, that is fair. Like Luke Cage, if
Yeah.
he does a spender for 4 power, he wouldn't be able to pick up a spider because he would be out of power. And so that's a good point. Is that maybe it's just minimizing attacks. That was the first attack that Jim has made this game, so it's important to note. We're on round 3, by the way. All right. So let's see what Nobility does here.
And now, since he dates Doctor Strange, he can't pass, which would have been a good time to do now.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he attacked because he had to. I mean that's not. I guess that's not entirely true. I think if he took a more direct path to Luke Cage, he probably could have got within 1, but he wanted to also destroy the car, so he couldn't. He just couldn't do everything.
Wolverine going into Toad, which I'm not sure I like too much, just because if Toad survives, he gets to slippery away, and that just means Hulk's activation is going to be significantly worse.
So you're thinking a Hulk activation here, and like probably throw terrain into Toad, and then hit him for the rest of the damage, or something along those lines.
Yeah, either I think Luke Cage would probably be my pick, just to move him and be somewhere more relevant. Uh, since you really want to keep both Hulk and Wolverine to put defensive pressure on if you can.
Yeah, I can see that, especially like now that you have last active. Wait, hold on, you don't have last activation, but uh, activating Hulk near the end of the round he could like double walk or even walk hop onto the top secure, and then and punish anyone on it or displace anyone who's already on it. It just like so yeah, I agree. The problem is he's not holding an extract anymore, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you could get him over there.
He's going to do.
Either way, you're probably going to keep Wolverine or Hulk on this bottom point here. So it's like, if I'm going to keep Wolverine here, I might as well like get an attack while I can, is maybe the thinking.
And I think a good argument to go with Wolverine. And the chances of Wolverine one-shotting Toad is not super high, even on 5 dice with a reroll.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I mean, it could happen though. So.
Yep.
Let's see.
MCP guys are
Okay. He's
a
got a defender reroll. Oh, but he doesn't get it. So he does have a pierce and a bleed on this though. So he's gonna push through. Looks like he did his reroll already. So it looks like he's pushing through 1 damage and a bleed.
which I think is the best case scenario if you're Jim, because it lets Toad both bump and slippery away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe I'm just like thinking about it in a risky manner, but if Toad bumps and slipperies away, I think he can move and position himself close enough to Daredevil to attack him and try to fish for the push and deny Daredevil an angle for him to come back with the aggressive.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that if Daredevil chooses to aggressive, it would force him to come off of the point,
Yeah,
which is a problem because when you do that, when he does that reactive ability, he has to use his range 2 strike attack.
so you can either fish for your push or try to force him off the point.
Yeah, I
Either.
see. I see. That makes sense.
It's
He
an
would
option.
if he got pushed and took damage, he would still pay the power and he would just reposition on the point basically.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Jim's opting to just keep Toad back, scoring you 1 point on a 2 threat every round is usually a very reasonable decision. Um, it's when they get into they're scoring 2 points a round because they're just sitting on a secure, being ignored, and have an extract that it's like a real pressure for the other team to have to deal with. They have to deal with them at that point. But yeah, Brian, Freddie, welcome to the chat. We have a pretty intense game here where Jim is
It looks
trying to win out the game with minimal damage against his opponent, and Nobility is trying to fight.
Looks like Wong gets there to grab the extract, which puts Nobility in a very rough position. Just because if Jim can win one of the two secures, he just scores out.
Yep, that is interesting. Voodoo and Toad can both displace Luke Cage and Daredevil off these points. Luke Cage's hit throw is that a size 2? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's size 2 on Voodoo. Yeah, for his
Okay,
throw.
so both of them can displace the top point. So, but neither of them can displace Wolverine's point. So it'll be interesting to see where Hulk goes, and if he ultimately has to go up to the top to negate the win.
That's really mean.
Oh man! All right, I'll read it. Lucas, as someone who's lost a TTS league game to someone making 0 attacks, what's your advice for Nobility here? Well, I can tell you what didn't work, and that was swearing profusely as it was happening. Yeah, so I would just say that you need to force engagement, and you need to keep putting pressure on the secure scoring. I don't know. You need to your attacks with priority need to matter.
I agree. I really don't dislike Voodoo moving away and trying to throw Daredevil here. Just because if he gets it, I mean, Toad can try to fish for the push on Cage and then hop into the point potentially.
Okay, so let's see here. If Jim doesn't get a displacement on Daredevil that like kind of basically stays in place, and Daredevil off the point, I'm just trying to think. Like it means that okay. Actually, based on where Toad is, I don't think Jim can win out this round. and looking where Voodoo he's looking to place Voodoo. I just and yeah, I think that we're probably gonna be in a 14 to, and we could be in like a. Can Nobility win both the points and win and score 5 and it'd be a 13 to 14 game? It
Yep.
seems like it could be, that's what we could be dealing with. It could be tempting for Nobility to also like just move and like uh take the extract off of Daredevil and then just like move away.
It's a very tempting option for sure.
It would just put Nobility, like assuming he wins both the points, it would put him at a 14 to 12. Jim at a 14 to 12 lead. I'm not sure if it's the right play or not, but he's measuring range 3 for either the attack or the possession or both.
I like having the option to do both there, just because if you can deny the activation and like open up the VP gap, I think it works in your favor.
All right. Well, let's see if he ends up doing an attack or not. He is not. He is. Jim is being very consistent here with his overall game plan. Very interesting here. Yeah. I have not seen Convocation played like this before, and so it's very intriguing to me.
I like the placement near Strange. That lets them just move and pick it up going into next round.
All right. Although Daredevil had a red on him, I think they're probably going to agree that they're in range 3, just because the tool he was positioned based on that tool, right? So that's usually how it works. The pixels, it's the pixels.
He's looking at trying to stay at a range of getting hit by Hulk, which I think he.
All right, looks like he is
Setting.
just continuing to keep his sacrifice bubble alive here, or looking to, and So Patrick asks if it was Jim. No, it was Leaf. Yeah, there you go. Nice, you covered it. Yeah, that was on Damon's Downtown map. It was
Demons, I
Damon's
think.
Downtown, and it was Demons and Spiders. Yeah, and it was similar and very similar in terms of like the overall game planning like this that Jim is playing, where Leaf was trying to minimize the the
The attacks go.
attacks and being very strategic with it. And for at the end of the game, though, he basically had to attack the Sam Avengers team, as the amount of pressure Deaton's team was putting on him was a lot, and it created leadership bonuses that Deaton was able to use to like keep the pressure alive, kind of thing. And it was a very fun game, though. Oh, Deaton says he played Jim in an earlier round. Was Jim rocking Convocation in an earlier round, Deaton? The Convocation think they're Web Warriors. Okay, we've got Hulk left to go and Toad left to go here. So there's no way that Nobility is losing this game that I can see on the table, because Toad cannot displace Wolverine. If he displaces Daredevil or Luke Cage, he can't. He won't be able to win the point. Nice. Leaf did this shit in the finals. I remember. What was that one thing that was said? It was like, it was something like push and pull. This game has a lot of push and pull. It's like one team is doing all the pushing and one team is that. Oh, I don't want to butcher it, but I wish I remembered how it went. But it was like one team's doing all the pushing and the other team's doing all the pulling. Crap! I wish I knew what it was. It was very funny at the time, but give and take. I think it was give and take. I don't know. Either way. All right. Yeah, Nobility's still figuring out what to do with Hulk here. Yeah, it's a geography joke. It's a back and forth game. Yeah, one player doing all the backing up, and one player doing all the forthing, I guess.
But yeah, what do you do with Hulk here? I think
Yeah,
just
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
walking and throwing, it feels a little sad.
Well, Brace is offline, so it's like, do you want to throw a size 3 into Strange? Oh, he's already dazed, so you don't really have that option. And maybe that's why Voodoo was placed there, is to make it very hard for anyone to throw anything into him.
Since now he only has 2 defense die for the current round.
Where's Wolverine? Wolverine's he's right here on the bottom secure, in the middle, near Hulk. Yeah, Wong's up there hiding. I've got a, this is a replay of a stream, so I have no, I can't adjust any angles or cameras. So, um, interesting. I think this is the wrong move with Hulk here. I think you want to put him on the other point. Wolverine should just be getting 2 points around on this, because he can't be displaced.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a pretty big mistake, just because if Nobility needs to pivot toward the north side, um, he's it's gonna make his next Hulk activation be even more awkward.
Oh, Dice Lord versus Lucas 2 Electric Boogaloo. I wish what's the joke here? I mean, like, it can't happen now, unfortunately. But where's the I'm missing the joke here that Joe's mentioning. People are sick of playing against seeing Guardians mirrors.
Oh, good call from Nobility in the chat. If Toad moves onto the low fisk point, Jim scores 4 to
Okay.
Nobility's 2.
Yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, we this is why it's different playing the game versus watching the game, is that you don't understand the player's thoughts. But yes, no, you're a good call. Nobility makes a lot of sense.
Good cat.
Yeah, you're that makes a lot of sense now that you said that. And it forced Toad Debates to not do anything. And there we go. Look at that, 14 to 12, because Daredevil did have to drop his piece. All right, let's see what happens next here.
Like sending Fisk's token further apart from each other.
Yeah. So this is So what I think basically based on that Nobility's, like, the logic here that Nobility presented to us, which makes a lot of sense, is that Wolverine was probably going to have to be forced to go into this Fisk point, and at the end of the round, Nobility can just sneak Toad onto it to stop the scoring of Wolverine, meaning that this top Fisk is going to could matter a lot more, like, for the scoring, and yeah. So it's let's see, that's probably what's going to happen on the bottom, and so Hulk will need to come up to the top here to either, like, get an extract or some, I don't know, it's very puzzling, but let's see where Jim puts this. Yeah, that's I agree. PHP Chrono is that sacrifice and Heroes for Hire and exceptional healing don't really work very effectively if your opponent refuses to engage with you.
Yeah, I like getting the stun and damage into Daredevil here. Makes him pretty fragile from both Voodoo and Strange attacks. Um, getting flipped.
Okay, dude, someone ban Curtis from the chat here. All right, all right. This is ridiculous. On my own stream, he's just roasting me. All right, I can't. All right, I'm trying to cast a game here. All right, let's see.
Yeah,
Dubil
yeah, we
yeah.
spider infected, so none on nobility side. We see Rhino getting moved away.
Yep, he can advance over the building because it's a size smaller than him. Just like how a size 2 could advance like over a size 1 piece. Yeah, nobility does have to definitely make the bigger plays here. You're down by 2 points, and this is probably the final round. Yeah, like you are certainly having to. Um, you're gonna have to do something here. Oh, but look at this. This is really big for. Um, this is really big for nobility here. Getting characters. Maybe it could set up like a daredevil attack. Let's see, Voodoo could like, oh my god, can you imagine like them all being in range 2 of Daredevil because they all hit the roll. Let's see who we're rolling on next. Uh, we're gonna roll on Voodoo or Strange or Toad. Let's see what happens. It's a crit. Here comes Voodoo. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, it's a big setup for Devil's Deliverance.
Yeah, he needs to get one more power. I think he already did power phase. He probably did. So I
He would
think Strange is
generate.
is Strange in range 2? Like, have they moved since Daredevil? No, they haven't. Right? Daredevil attacked Strange at range 2, and they haven't moved since then. So my understanding is that Daredevil is in range. There it is. Yep.
And
Oof.
has his rerolls online, which
Oh,
allow for the
triple reroll. Oh man, yeah, that's a huge. That's huge. Oh, and Voodoo doesn't have his token, right? He doesn't have his spirit.
that
So
is correct.
he's yeah, so
V-
he's gonna have to roll. He's only rolling 2 dice right now.
yep. So it would be probably a good idea to strike Voodoo here because with his 2 dice, he's the likeliest to get uh to give Daredevil a power for Devil's Deliverance, and Voodoo can't fall back from this because he's only sitting on 1 power.
Okay, yeah, I see all that. The logic tracks. Let's see, he rolls looks like he rolled 5 dice here. No
Uh,
rerolls though. Ooh, he gets 1 power. Um hold on. How is he rolling? Well, what's happened? He attacked into Wong?
I think, yeah, he attacked into Wong.
I'm seeing 5 dice on defense. Am I crazy here? What's going on?
He rolled 4 because he was next to Doctor Strange and 1 extra from the crit.
Okay, okay. And and so he's gonna be able to get out of range here.
Yeah, I like Wong. If he can bump back 2 and still be within 2 of Doctor Strange, it also means he's able to sacrifice and protect Doctor Strange, which I think is really
Oh, and oh, it's close. It's very close. Oh man,
just out.
just
Oh,
out. Yeah, you're right. If you attack Voodoo, you're looking to one-shot Voodoo basically because he has a high impact turn. So we've got you're looking to one-shot. I mean, you're rolling. He just was 1 power short of getting what he like the dream, which was to open with the spender and get all 3 of them. So either way, you're still rolling. What is it? Is it
6 plus
6
2
plus 2?
rerolls because now Wong's outside of range, so it's still 6 die with 2 rerolls, which is pretty big.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then we're
And I think the
seeing.
target priority here is pretty important just because since the attack pushes away, you really want to put your first and most important attack into the relevant target.
Okay.
But
He's
with
going as
sacrifice,
strange. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Jim can
expect
change it.
sacrifice into here.
7 with 2 rerolls. It should be. It's
8
is 8.
reroll
Okay. Yeah.
because there's 2
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
within
There
2.
we go. Yeah. All right. And we don't have books up here, so it means that it's 2 dice for Voodoo or 3 dice for Strange, re-rolling all.
Yeah.
I think the target was declared. It looks like so. It looks like Jim
Jim's was
is
waiting
playing
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Sacrifice into voodoo is correct. Uh, just because it means Strange is going to activate, and
Yeah,
I think he has a much more impactful activation than
yeah.
Devil. And oof, that is not
Taking
pretty cool.
3, it looks like, and the push, and we've got rerolls. He's rerolling 2 dice, so he's using them.
And because the attack has a mandatory push, it maybe will just push Voodoo out of range of the second strike.
Um, yeah, so you're saying like he would only get 2 rerolls now and 1 reroll on the second attack, maybe. Is that what
The
you're
reroll return, but since he sacrificed into Voodoo, like Voodoo is push away and gets the bump, which means like not dazing Voodoo here means their Devil's turn is pretty much over, uh, which is very very rough.
Oh no, so hold on. So he still gets to attack Voodoo though, because the area of the attack is determined before all the attacks go off.
Uh,
Just like it's just like the same
oh yeah,
same with like same Avengers in a beam. Like you if you move a target out of the beam, you still get to
yeah.
hit them.
But Voodoo can now at least give himself both cover and recall the token.
Yeah.
Hope to survive that.
Yeah, that's right. But he is on 1 damage here. So actually, we might have to fast forward a few minutes here because there was a judge question that came up specifically on this interaction. The question
Oh,
was, could Voodoo recall the spirit on this second attack into him? And first of all, and the other thing was like, does he get attacked at all? And I had to resolve this, and yeah, so. It took me a few minutes though because of I was also commentating on another game that was happening simultaneous. So anyway, they called the judge here at this point in time, and this is what I did clarify for them, that Voodoo will still take the second attack because of the range and line of sight of the beam was declared was locked in, and I confirmed that he could recall the spirit. So I'm going to just skip ahead a little bit here.
to resolve. Yep,
Um,
this recall.
okay, so we see the recall. He hasn't spent for that yet.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he
He
did.
was
Okay. I'm gonna just keep going a little further here. Okay. Um,
dice roll. I still think they're
Oh,
debating
actually,
it.
you know what? I know I moved the camera when I came in the room because I just did that. So when the camera shifts, I know that I've. Oh, here we go. This is me talking. All right, all right. So I'm talking, resolving it, and I did all this without looking at the score.
Because it's the first time I've seen and characters moving. He's commentating a game right now.
Here we go.
Yeah, but that's an interesting rules question.
Yeah.
So here at least Voodoo gets 4 dice with cover against Daredevil's 8. Yeah, 8 dice. So he still has not terrible odds of surviving this attack. Oh,
All right, there we go. Okay, so it
yep.
was resolved. All right, so there we go. So now they're going to do the attack. Yep, they're going to do the attack from Daredevil into Voodoo. Now lag issues. Okay. All right.
So 4 with cover against 8.
All right, it's like TiVo but for MCP. There's commercials, so you just gotta fast forward through them.
Yep. Mhm.
All right. I think okay. So here we go. Here's the roll, and there goes Voodoo. Sacrifice has already been played. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the Jim's card is still open, but he has played it already. So now Daredevil won't be able to pick up either of these pieces, I don't think. And
Sure.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Exactly. PHP Chronote, you are correct, because each attack resolves separately. Voodoo gets to recall before the second one.
Okay, so it looks like Daredevil is not able to pick up
Yep.
an extract, but he did daze Voodoo, so that's going to be big for
Yep,
stopping the extracts maybe from getting away from him here.
for sure. And I think because Daredevil is stunned, it means Doctor Strange can hopefully uh, daze him without being afraid of Heroes for Hire, just because Daredevil needs 2 power to pay it. I like trying to daze Luke Cage here, but it's a little dangerous just because if he Heroes for Hire himself and gets to throw Strange, uh, it may put him in a bad position.
I'm not sure what Jim does here, other than, let's see, what does he need to do to win? He's gonna pick up another piece with Strange, almost certainly, and Wolverine has enough power to move and charge. Let's see. What does he need to win? If he picks up, if he wins, if he has just 4 extracts and nothing else, he goes to 18. But Nobility would lose. So if he gets
Yeah,
4 extracts and runs away successfully, he can win the game. The problem, I guess, is that Wong is susceptible to being killed from a double walk terrain throw by Hulk. And if he tries to make any sort of, you know what I mean, if he tries to be sly about it and like, oh, just try to grab with Strange and dip out, maybe you run away with Strange. Then is my thought.
I think
Or sorry, run
if
away with Wong. I meant.
yeah, I think that's an option, but I don't think there's any characters that can really threaten Wong here. Like Luke Cage is probably the closest. Um, Hulk, walk, jump, throw, attack. Yeah, that's definitely possible. I think. It's a lot of options to consider.
Yeah, the Luke Cage could sweet Christmas into Wong and pick up his extract. That's their sacrifice is not available to Wong right now. That's really big. That's we might see that because then Luke Cage can pick up the piece and then puts um and that means that Nobility can't, or sorry, Jim wouldn't be able to win out because with just extracts because you'd only have 3 characters that are alive this round. So
I think if you're Jim here, you want to try and fight for the top secure, just because trying to take away Luke Cage's activation means you can significantly more easily score out this round.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I see that. You still have Daredevil to like deal with though, and he's healthy, and Doctor Strange is injured, so you need to displace him.
I think you can just actually kill him, since you can pretty freely double tap him without fear of clapback. Uh,
Right, I see. Because the second attack theoretically gets him, and the first attack he's stunned. So
and with 5 die Mystic with reroll and Pierce, it's pretty likely to hurt Daredevil a lot.
I guess like what the problem is if you go with Strange now to do that, then Luke Cage can just walk and win that point from you
Uh,
because Wong and Strange are both injured. So Strange basically has to activate after Luke Cage.
or can displace Luke Cage. I
Oh,
think that's
okay.
definitely an option.
Oh, I see. What you're saying. You're saying like you could scalpel first onto the point, and then 2 tap Daredevil, and then scalpel Luke Cage away after that, picking
Yeah,
up and maybe probably ideally picking up an extract through all of that as well if you've got the range. But it's
Or since he's within 2 of Daredevil already and is already on 5 power, he could
oh yeah, right, yeah.
well double tap Luke Cage, trying to get the daze, scalpel Daredevil
Yeah.
away, scalpel himself both into the points and the spider infected.
Yeah, so to do all that, you only need 9 power and the dice to work in your favor.
Which Luke Cage has 4 health left. It's the magical number.
He's in 3. He's within 3 of Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then, yeah, that would work.
Which also means he's within Sweet Christmas range, which I think forces Strange to go now.
Yeah, I guess the problem attacking Strange is attacking into Luke Cage is that he can play his card and displace you, right? Is that what we're seeing right now? Or we're seeing
I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, because it was Jim's turn, I believe.
Yeah. I think Nobility's looking at Heroes for Hire.
Yeah. Yeah, see, look at this, the chat. Chat. Every time I say something that I think I'm clever on, I look on the chat and it's like 3 people have already said it. So, all right, today's not different. That was my thought as well. All right, yeah, just pile on the. Yeah, there you go. Everyone's seeing the line, except for me.
I'm right with you, so.
Yeah, it's all right. It's good. It's good. That's why we're all helping each other get better at this. Your brotherhood. Oh, can you hear? Yeah, exactly. There you go. Heroes for Hire and then Sacrifice. That's Daredevil has 0 power, so you wouldn't be able to do that. But yeah, Heroes for Hiring yourself.
I'll back into Hulk.
Ooh. But then, do you still get the card, the throw? You must do, right? You still get the card onto Hulk. Yeah, there you go, onto Hulk.
That is a good question.
I think you do.
I think you do, and just Strange cannot one-shot Hulk there. I think it guarantees the throw if that interaction works like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that they it's very, very interesting. Wow.
I really want to look it up on the forums.
I mean, like they didn't ask for a judge here, and no, there were no judges on the table or anything. But I'm imagining. Well, I guess let's see what happens. But I'm imagining they resolved it with the throw. It just seems like logically to make sense. You don't lose when you've got all these after the attack triggers to resolve, and you can choose them in any order, and etc. etc. That's what this reminds me of. But the opposite. It looks like he's still considering it. The one issue the one issue that he's having is if he goes into Hulk here, he throws him into the light post, which doesn't displace him very much. And I think that's why he's
throwing Doctor Strange into terrain lets him bump, which is important here.
Right. So I think that's what we're seeing. Nobility has caught onto that and is acting. Is acting based on that consideration. And look at that. He's putting him into a bump within range. Within range to pick up the piece after either piece, whatever one Strange doesn't grab. So I like that. That makes a lot of sense. I can see that whole thing.
So we see Luke Cage bumping back, presumably.
All right, so he's opting to. Maybe he just doesn't throw him. Let's see what he does into Hulk here. There's that.
Played and looks like sacrifice into Hulk.
But he hasn't played the sacrifice yet. He's just rolling it onto Luke Cage. All right.
Dangerous.
I guess I don't understand what the point of putting him within 2 of Hulk was then, maybe. I don't fully understand this, but here we go. Nobilities, inside information here. Heroes for Hire to an immediate sack is a really good thought I wish I had thought about. Pretty sure it guarantees the throw. I was measuring to sack a potential second attack. Okay.
Bit of feedback.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So Luke looks like he blocks like a complete stud though, and he is taking. I'm I'm guessing that was daggers then. Did he spend power for that?
No, it was the
Hmm.
builder.
It was a builder. He has Pierce on the builder, so I'm just like not seeing the maybe the damage hasn't been applied yet. Or wait, hold on. Did it? Wow. He was at 2, right? Yeah, Luke Cage was at 2, so he did take the 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. I just did bad math. I just forgot Luke Cage had only taken 2. So that's on me. But okay. So this means that did he pay the power for what? For heroes? Maybe I don't know.
Oh, doesn't look like he did. Good question.
Well, it's we are there's nothing we to do about it now. He had 4 before the attack, so yeah. So he looks like he didn't pay for it, but maybe he does after. Either way, yeah, it's just nothing to do about it but to keep playing. So strange scalpel. So he still has another action left.
Yeah.
Looks like he's looking. Oh man,
scalpels. They're double.
Timekeeper. Yeah.
Ooh, I really like the denying Hulk advances there with their double.
Right, but he would have to. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. He moved and then he's scalpeling now. I see. Okay.
I really like your
Oh man.
Future like has to walk a longer way around.
Yeah. Look at that. That's pretty clever. Okay, so no Jim has 4 extracts and he has 4 extracts and he's got a point. So let's see, Nobility has to deal with that. I mean, the thing too is that like Wolverine could like move and Spender into Strange and displace him off the point, and I believe that would win him that point, right? Because he's healthy, and every other character. Oh, I guess Toad could.
The danger with doing that is that like if you don't get the days, Toad can threaten the bottom fist, and it still doesn't take Strange's tokens away.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Oh, Luke Cage hasn't gone yet either. Actually, no, I wasn't. I'm seeing this now. So let's see. Yeah, Luke Cage going here makes. It seems reasonable. He's looking to see if he can get a range 2 on Wong. But he has the power for. I guess he's looking to ignore cover or like get around cover is the idea. Classic Toad plays. Yeah, that's right. Just chilling.
Is he scoring? He's doing his job.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what Nobility does here. Yep, Toad can get to either point without much problem.
I think going with Hulk here basically forces Wolverine to stay on the bottom fist, or Luke Cage.
Yeah, one of them will have to stay back and basically stop Toad from like winning the game on his own. Yeah, it's interesting that maybe he's thinking like if another character gets to that spot where Hulk is looking to go, it would stop Hulk from being able to pick up the spider and contest. Whereas like if Rhino, basically you could activate and put Rhino right in that spot. So getting Hulk to activate now means that you're gonna get him to the exact spot you want without Jim body blocking again. I think maybe that's what Nobility was thinking here when he considers his Hulk activation to go right now.
And a good catch from Abiscus in the chat. Toad here tying a Fisk is also very likely to win Jim the game here, so keeping him for last, since he will have the last activation this round, will be pretty big.
Yeah, I mean the only way I could see this flipping is if like you get Wong like late in the round, you get Wong before he activates. If Hulk goes now, though, I think we see Wong run away probably.
I think that's fairly likely.
Yeah, he can't. He just cannot get to. He just cannot get to Wong, or the point, and the spider.
I think if he does that, his pretty much only out is to throw the size 3 into Wong and hope that KOs him.
Well, he has enough power to do the walk, jump, walk, throw. I think we're gonna see that for sure.
And if Wong lives here, it's going to be a really tall order for an ability to come back.
Yeah. All right. Well, if he throws in a Wong here, Wong will need to block 3 successes. He'll need to get 3 blocks. Am I counting that right, or 2? Is it 2? 2. It's 4 damage coming in. Yeah, 4 damage coming in means if he blocks 1, he still dies. So he's still KO'd. So he'll need to block 2 to live on 1 health. He can throw and then clap. Yeah, maybe he could have, but either way, this is the path he's taken with a single throw into Wong because he spent both of his move actions. He's both of his actions to move.
Through the terrain into Wong.
Right, let's see. Here we go.
Wong 5.
Oh,
It's a pretty big deal.
2 blocks on 3 dice. Oh, there he goes. Wow.
And that is a dead Wong.
And now you're putting the piece in a spot where Luke Cage can grab it. And wow, that was big. So that means that now Nobility has last activation here, which is actually really important for Toad. Now he's like wherever he goes, he could be in a rough spot. Yeah, the books are back. Good news for Jim. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Is he in a tough spot here? I'm just trying to understand what's exactly. It's like. Could you daze Luke Cage here then as a response? And then get
that's
last
what I would
activation.
try to see. Like, if Rhino moves, slides, gets a 7-die attack into Luke Cage, then throw a size 2, like, getting a daze on Luke Cage here will probably be enough to win him the game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Toad can force parity on either secures.
That's right. As long as Nobility doesn't tie Jim will win the game. Is Luke within 2 of Wolverine? No, they're definitely out. But yeah, looks like Jim is seeing what we're seeing.
Honestly.
Yeah, there he's grabbing the tool out. Yeah, he's seeing the line. Nobility still has brace. Yeah, it's very fair. So we were looking at just a 7 dice attack to do 3 damage into Luke Cage with damage reduction. So you really need 4 overall net successes, which is
It's a tall
tough.
order, but
yeah,
if it happens, it just wins them the game, right?
Exactly.
And I think you don't have a very exciting activation with Rhino otherwise, so I think it's probably your best out.
Yeah, he's already holding an extract, so he doesn't really care about those. Attacking Hulk does nothing for Jim. Yeah, so it was good. It was very smart of Nobility to put Rhino in that spot, because he can stampede, but he can't stampede through size 3 stuff. So it means that Rhino does have to take a move action to get away from the size 3, and then he can stampede. So he only gets 1 attack action here. So yeah. We've had quite a few really intense games in this top 32, and this is another one of them that are coming down to the wire here. Very exciting.
Like, we've had a lot of very good and very tight games so far in the first round of the cuts.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been super brutal.
Yeah, that's right. And you won your games. You're in the top 16, and you did it. I mean, with your criminal list that you was it the same list that you were on the Alfred or Vince Kirchhoff's YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's a little different. I think there's one crisis and one character that's different from that, but mostly it's just same list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, that's this the season has a lot of killers, a lot of really strong players. So I'm excited to see who comes out on top here, season 13.
Same. And yeah, just like Dingleberry said in the chat, thanks a lot for streaming all these games. It's really really huge opportunity and commitment you're taking on upon yourself.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a lot. I think I've streamed of this first round out of the 16 games. I think I'm gonna end up streaming about 10 of them. So at least I'm grateful that players scheduled their games over the course of the 2 weeks instead of all within 1 week, because that would have been absolutely insane for me to. This is a little more manageable, but yeah, another 8 games will be taking place. Not like let's see in the next like the next round. So that's still a lot of games to be played. All right, we've got Luke Cage
What?
only taking 1 damage. This game is crazy. I wonder if he threw the building out of his way. Oh, is that the real question is who's streaming Lucas's game? Yeah, well, I mean, probably just gonna stream my own game on emotes only. It's usually what I've been doing, just like turn on so no one thinks I'm trying to get like you know what I mean. I don't want to perceive that I'm using the chat to play like to cheat
Advantage.
or whatever at his advantage. So when I stream my games, I turn it on to emotes only, and I just play. But Mike will also be having he records all his games, so he puts it on his channel too. So you'll get both perspectives. I don't know if you'll want to watch both, but they'll exist. They'll both exist. Yeah. Dean sounds like he wants to do it. There you go. Yeah, so Dean maybe could do it. Oh, do you are you sure you play the winner next round? Hold on, Dean. That's not entirely true. If I win, you won't have to play me because we're in the same bracket. So we the players in the same bracket are purposely like the brackets are switched if that happens every single round until you're forced to play someone from your bracket. Yeah, they it was clarified last season that that's how it's run. So basically, if you're in, that's why the both in the final four or the final 8 or something like there were a bunch of mix-ups each round because there were a lot of Europeans that made it far each round, and so they weren't playing each other until they had to. And also yeah, like I think it's still bracketed. There's confusion over like how each round is being run. I believe it's still bracketed, but they'll swap players down the bracket if there's um okay, so we have Luke Cage. He walked and grabbed the piece. This is like a this is big for Nobility here. He could get a um
Oh, the throw on Doctor Strange here.
I mean he's already
Yeah, scoring the
does he
point.
take? Oh, he doesn't take the damage. No, no damage here. So yeah. All right, he blocked it. He didn't get a wild either. Oh man. Yeah.
So here, Nobility would be scoring 6, and I think if Toad just runs away, um, Jim has the game, right? He's scoring 3 to Nobility's 6. Oh, no, no.
No. So
No,
Nobility
that,
scoring 4 right now because of the
yeah.
top point and the 2 extracts. That gets him to 16, and Jim is at 17 right now. However,
I, he has to contest the
yes.
bottom token, otherwise Nobility just steals this game away.
That's right. So basically, Toad has to live 2 attacks from Wolverine with this this charge and then attack. So 2 attacks Toad has to survive on here.
And probably a spender in the mix.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see. I would imagine he's gonna opt to do the charge first, right? And then if you get the damage, you get the spender.
yep.
So yes, this is a tough spot for Jim here, but I mean, this game coming down right to this last activation of the game is really cool. Is there any way where we could see a tie here? I don't think so, right? Because hold on. Oh, it could tie. It could tie if Toad dazes. It's a tie, right? 16. No.
No,
My bad.
Nobility
Nobility will
takes
score 6, going to 18. So it's either going to be 17 for Jim to win the game, 17-16, or it's going to be an 18-16 game for Nobility here.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Let's see how this goes. I mean, like if I'm honest, I think Wolverine is just gonna slaughter this Toad. But I mean, I think we've all been in a spot where either we're the Wolverine or we're the Toad, and Toad lives, and you steal the game when the odds were against you on the last actions. All right, it's charging. Oh no, he spent 3 power, so that's a spender. All right, he's not going to get the double. I like this. I like the charge first, but
yep.
Boom, 5 into 2 with
Yeah,
crit. Oh, but hold on.
Just because
So
he gets the place then throw and that.
oh, the
gives
throw. Yes, the throw. Is that game then? That's game.
Yep.
Okay, so he opted to do that because of the guaranteed throw if he got damage. All right. Wow. There's the game.
GG.
That's yeah, let's see. Let's just make sure we they score the points and make sure we're not. But man, that was really intense. Nobility takes down a Titan of I think he was Jim going undefeated in the Europe bracket was definitely was like a favorite, quote unquote, to do really well this season. So Nobility takes him out. Yeah, that's a lot of we're seeing a lot of great players getting beat in this first round. I mean, the reality is is that there's so many great players, so it's like yeah.
Yep. It's a pool filled with sharks.
Yeah, that's right. Schmidt says I taught him everything he knows about playing against Convocation, Nobility, and none of it mattered because Jim never attacked, and Schmidt only attacked. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
Very well played to both players. Thanks for letting Lucas stream all this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a 45-minute break here, and I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern with the lunch meet finals with Johnny. That'll be a lot of fun. It'll be between Red Cathal Spider Foes and Leaf is playing his triple affiliated list that he's been running. So thank you, Vodkablitz, for joining me on stream.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, and we'll catch you guys in a little bit. See you later.
See ya.